Once upon a time, there was a young fisherman named Elias who lived near the sea in a small coastal village. His father had left him an old wooden fishing boat before he died, but the boat was ugly, cracked, and slow. One side of it was damaged, and water constantly leaked inside. The other fishermen had strong, beautiful boats with shiny sails and powerful engines. Whenever Elias went fishing, people laughed at him. "Look at that broken boat. How long will that thing even float? You'll never become successful with junk like that." Elias felt embarrassed every single day. He worked twice as hard as everyone else. While others returned home quickly, he spent hours removing water from his leaking boat. Many nights he sat alone by the shore and asked God, "Why did you leave me with this useless boat? Why does everyone else have better things than me?" One year, the sea became extremely dangerous. A powerful storm suddenly arrived during fishing season. Huge waves crashed against the boats in the middle of the ocean. The fishermen tried to rush back to shore, but their heavy modern boats were difficult to control in the violent storm. Many boats flipped. Some crashed into rocks. Elias was trapped in the storm too. Fear filled his heart. But then something unexpected happened. Because his old boat was smaller and lighter, it moved differently in the waves. And because of the crack underneath, water slowly entered the boat, making it sit lower in the sea instead of being tossed high by the giant waves. The very flaw Elias hated for years was now keeping the boat balanced. While the larger boat struggled against the storm, Elias's broken boat survived. After hours of fighting the sea, he safely reached the shore. The next morning, the village was silent. Many expensive boats were destroyed, but Elias's old broken boat was still floating beside the dock. The villagers couldn't believe it. One fisherman asked him, "How did your broken boat survive such a storm?" Elias touched the cracked wood gently and said with tears in his eyes, "For years I asked God to give me a better boat, but God knew this storm was coming before I did. What I thought was weakness was actually protection." An old sailor standing nearby smiled and said, "Sometimes God doesn't remove the crack, because the crack is part of the miracle." From that day on, Elias never hated his boat again. And whenever someone complained about their struggles, he would point toward the sea and say, "Not every broken thing is useless. Some broken things are the reason we survived the storm." Moral of the story: the weakness you complain about today may become the reason you survive tomorrow. God sees the storms ahead, even when we cannot.